Hello, my name is Olive and I'm from the Western Trust Recovery College. Welcome to another of our videos in our Creating Wellness in Winter series. And today I'm going to be baking a cheesy bean crunch. So for this recipe we're going to need 1 large onion, 2 rashers of back bacon, about 1 dessert spoonful of sunflower oil, 1 clove of garlic, 1 low salt vegetable stock cube or a chicken stock cube, whatever you have, 1 can of chopped tomatoes, 2 cans of beans, so I'm using cannellini beans and red kidney beans. Again, you could use any sort of beans that you maybe have in the cupboard, half a teaspoonful of chili powder, some salt and pepper just to taste, and about 3 slices of wholemeal bread and 75 grams of mature cheddar. So to get started, we're going to first of all chop our onion. And it has to be a reasonably large onion. And then you want to just chop it up. Just pop that into a bowl. And then you need 2 rashers of bacon. And for this, we just take the fat off the bacon because it just means it's a wee bit more healthier. And this recipe is actually a really healthy recipe, very nutritious, and you're getting a lot of your protein and fibre in it as well. So again, try and take as much of the fat off. I know that's a tasty bit, but it's not so good for us. So rind off there now. So we're just going to chop up our bacon into small pieces. So that's your bacon cut, and we're just going to peel and a clove of garlic as well. Just a garlic crusher for this, but if you don't have a garlic crusher, you can just chop it up finely. You don't have to have one of these, but this just makes it a wee bit quicker and handier. I'll keep an eye on that. So for this, you just need about a dessert spoonful of sunflower oil, and pop that into your pot. And then we're going to add our onion, and that's on a good high heat. And you need a good big size pot. Pop your onion into that. It's sizzling in a minute. And into that as well add your garlic, which I'm just crushing there. So we have our onion and garlic in there, and we're also going to add our bacon. Let that cook down and stir. You want your onion softened and your garlic cooked slightly. You don't want to overdo it now, just let it cook down a bit and your bacon cooked. So keep an eye on it and keep stirring it a wee bit now and again. Starting to brown nicely. So when it gets to that point there, you're just going to add your tinned tomato. Add them in like that. And you need about half a cup of water. And then your stock cube. Now this is a low salt stock cube, low salt. Obviously this is, because we've got bacon in this is obviously not for vegetarians, but if you wanted to make this for vegetarians, you just omit the bacon and you use the vegetable stock cube. Just take it off a wee bit there, just so that it's not bubbling too much. So you want it to simmer. So yeah, you rinse off your beans, and what you can actually do, if you don't have kidney beans or cannellini beans, whatever type of beans you have in your cupboards at home, not baked beans probably, but if you get butter beans or chickpeas, you can substitute them as well. So, and beans are a really, really good source of fibre and protein. So I have just drained the 2 tins of beans, the red kidney beans and the cannellini beans. I've just used a sieve, drain them and rinse them off with a bit of water. And they all go in together, and like that. So you can see what it's starting to look like there now. To this, I'm going to add half a teaspoonful of chili powder. Again, just gives it a wee kick. When it gets to that point there, so you just want to turn that down then and just let it simmer for about 20 minutes. It's just bubbling very, very slightly there. So we move on now, and whilst that is simmering, we're going to make some breadcrumbs. I have already made some just to speed it up here a wee bit, but I'm just going to show you how you do breadcrumbs. So just to grate your breadcrumbs, you just use probably the biggest one or whatever. Give it a go till you see. And this is just brown grained bread. So just a case of just rubbing it like that. Now you will find that it'll be a wee bit chunky, but that's okay because that adds to the texture of your casserole anyway, it doesn't matter. So when you've all your breadcrumbs grated, then you have about that amount there. So then what we're going to do then is grate 75 grams of cheese, and this is a mature cheddar cheese. Again, if you wanted to be a wee bit extra low fat, you could go for a lower fat version, but just grate it through the bigger one again too. So when you've grated your cheese, then what you do is just pop it into the breadcrumbs, so you mix the two together. You just mix the two up. And that's going to be your topping. And the beauty about this recipe is that you can divide it if you're someone, I mean it serves 4, but if you are someone who's maybe just living on your own, you can divide this recipe up into 4 portions. And well, 20 minutes is about up there now. I'm just going to check for seasoning, so it's always good to test as you go along. It doesn't need any extra salt, but I'm just going to add a wee bit of pepper. That is good to go, I think. Okay, so what we do now is pop it into your casserole dish, like so. And then on top of that, then you just want to sprinkle your breadcrumb mixture. And that's it. What you pop it in on the grill then, just to toast the top of it, and that's it ready. And if you didn't have your grill, or for some reason your grill wasn't working, you can put it into the oven as well. You know, put it into a fairly high oven for a short spell of time, for maybe about 5 minutes. Now, all you're looking to do is really grill the top of the breadcrumb mixture. And so maybe having a go with this at home. Cooking can be another way of expressing your creativity, and being creative is so good for your mental health and well-being. Because what happens when you're creative is you're actually getting lost in what you're doing, and you're focused on what you're doing, so you're not really thinking about those worrying thoughts or maybe the other things that are going on in your life that are causing you upset. This can be a really good way to sort of distract yourself for a period of time. And also along the way, you usually find out that you've actually got a hidden skill or a talent that you maybe weren't aware of before. And that can be a real boost to your self-confidence and self-esteem. So if you haven't tried it before, this is a nice, simple, straightforward recipe to get started, and maybe do give it a go. So thank you.